Welcome to the Joy of Tennis Teaching. I'm Dan Aubuchon. A lot of times these videos have been based on questions that I've received from some of our viewers, and always they're aimed at trying to help you, the tennis teaching professional, get better. But today's a little different. Today I did this one all for me. The Australian Open is going on now in Melbourne, Australia, and TV coverage is great. There's lots of matches on television. And 4 years ago, in January of 2020, I made my first trip to Australia, and little did I know it was also my last international coaching trip. But it just made me nostalgic a bit for tennis teaching. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how amazingly lucky I've been in my career. Probably my first tennis teaching I did in like 1973, 1974. So it's 49 or 50 years of tennis teaching. And in that time, I've been lucky to teach every type of student you can imagine. I've taught children, all types of children. I've taught children at resorts who are on vacation. I've taught children at summer camps that were from fairly wealthy families. I did a clinic with barefoot kids in Borneo, Indonesia, in the jungle. So I've had a chance to work with all types of children. I've also worked with all types of adults, probably more adults than children. And I've been lucky to teach in resorts and clubs. My teaching started in public parks in the height of the tennis boom. And I used to have 30 adults on court pantomiming swings. Probably the worst tennis teaching I've ever done in my life, but that was what I knew and that was the times. So I've had a chance to coach professional athletes who are taking up tennis recreationally. I've had a chance to coach professional tennis players. I've had a chance to coach beginning adults. I've coached wheelchair tennis. I've coached tennis for the blind and the mentally challenged. I really can't think of a population there is. I did the prison program in Hawaii State Penitentiary. I've been so lucky to have taught almost every type of student that you can imagine. And with that background, the question that I get asked very often is, did you prefer coaching pros to club players? Did you prefer coaching adults to children? Did you prefer coaching advanced players to beginning players? And my answer to that question is, I loved coaching everyone. I can't really narrow it down except for one thing. My most important criteria to ensure that I liked the tennis was that the student enjoyed the lesson, that the student wanted to improve, that the student wanted to try the things that I was suggesting. If that was the case, then it didn't matter to me what skill level the student was. We did a little experiment once. We had students call this number and they asked for beginning tennis lessons. And we told them, no, we don't give beginning tennis lessons. And so then the student would say, well, do you give intermediate tennis lessons? We say, no, sorry, we don't give intermediate tennis lessons. Oh, so you only give advanced tennis lessons? And we said, no, we don't give advanced tennis lessons. And they said, well, I'm confused. Aren't you a tennis teacher? And I said, yes, I am. I give tennis lessons to all students. I don't give specific type of lessons to specific levels of player. Because I've had beginning students who had exceptional hand-eye coordination. So we didn't do the JFT drills and the things there. We got right into a little bit more advanced technique. I've taught, experienced players who had very, very weak fundamentals. So we were doing things that many coaches would call beginner lessons. So it really, my favorite saying that Peter Burwash used so many times was, we don't teach a system, we teach individuals. There was one way, if you wanted to get Peter a little bit angry about it, say I teach the Peter Burwash system. There was no such thing. There were PBI concepts that we applied to every level of student. And when I was in the early days of PBI, many other tennis coaches said, oh yeah, that PBI is just for resort and club players. It's not real tennis. And then we started producing exceptional tennis players from the BAT program in India that was owned by the Armitage family. And this summer in the International Tennis Hall of Fame, Leander Paes, a graduate of the BAT program, is being inducted as a player. And Vijay Armitage, one of the great Indian players and the owner and founder of the BAT program who hired PBI, is being inducted into the Tennis Hall of Fame as well. So PBI concepts work for every level of player. And that's just kind of a brief rundown of my background as a teacher and all the different levels that I've coached. So let's get to the point of today's video. The point of today's video is I want to know something from you. Have you thought about the title of this video series, The Joy of Tennis Teaching? Obviously, we're talking about tennis teaching and we're dealing with instructors of all different levels. But what I'm also interested in is the word joy. What does joy mean to you? To me, joy was the fact that in all the years I've taught tennis, I never felt like it was my job. I felt like I was lucky to do it. I felt like it was my passion. It was, when I got sick, it was the thing that hurt me the most, was losing that joy of being on the court with a student. So what I would like you to do today is think a little bit about your tennis teaching and send me a message, please. I won't be able to respond to them all, but I will, with some help, we're going to compile it and in a later video report back the results. But what do you love about teaching tennis? What gives you joy as a tennis teacher? For me, the joy of tennis teaching was seeing that look in a student's eye, that aha moment when whatever they were working on clicked. Whether it was Sebastian Leroux, the #1 player in Canada, US Open doubles winner, Olympic gold medalist, when I saw that look in Sebastian's eye, when he got the feel for the kick serve, or a beginning player just making contact for the first time, or the little boy running to his mother saying, I got 200 million points in today's game because they got that joy of accomplishment, that feeling. More than any money or any memories, that was what was the joy of tennis for me, is seeing that look in my students. So thank you very much, and please, please send me what gives you the joy of teaching tennis. Bye.